Our mission for this particular album quest segment is to look at one specific group, Group 163. It's got a really diverse lineup.
Oh, absolutely. A real mixed bag.
We're going to try and figure out why the rankings shook out the way they did based on his sometimes quite funny, sometimes controversial takes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's list the contenders for Group 163. We've got Roger Waters' Radio K.A.O.S.
Progressive rock concept album.
Okay.
Then Iron Maiden's Live at Donington 1992. Pure heavy metal power.
A live one. Interesting.
Next, Shakespeare's Sister with Hormonally Yours. That's 90s pop territory.
Right. Quite different.
And finally, Fleetwood Mac's Very Best Of, a big compilation.
Wow. Okay, that is a seriously diverse group. Prog rock, live metal, 90s pop, and classic rock hits.
Yeah. And something that immediately tells you a lot about the blogger's, let's say, dedication is the Iron Maiden context.
What's that?
This Live at Donington album. It's the 20th Maiden album he's reviewed in this quest.
20. Seriously, that's dedication, like you said.
It is. But here's the kicker. Even with that level of fandom, some absolute classics like Power Slave and Somewhere in Time, they got knocked out earlier.
Oh, okay. So past favoritism doesn't guarantee anything here.
Not at all. It seems to be purely about how these specific 4 albums stack up against each other right now after repeated listens in this specific group. Which kind of leads to a big question, doesn't it? In this kind of listening marathon, what wins? Is it like sheer consistency over decades? Or is it about one perfect, maybe flawed but powerful statement?
That's the core tension, I think. Let's start with the album that actually grabbed the top spot straight away in this group. The Fleetwood Mac Very Best Of.
The compilation.
Yeah, the 2009 version. The author's description was memorable. He called it feckin' huge-e.
Huh. Okay. Descriptively accurate, I guess.
And that size is key. It's not really an album in the traditional sense, is it? More like, as you said, a compendium.
How huge are we talking?
Over 2.25 hours, 36 tracks. It spans from, 1975 right up to 2002.
Right. So this immediately brings up a point about the whole album quest idea itself, doesn't it? Can a compilation even win a search for the best album?
Well, that's a fantastic analytical point. It suggests that maybe, for Greenstrokes, what really matters most is that undeniable track after track quality over a long period, consistency.
Rather than maybe a single cohesive artistic statement.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, Fleetwood Mac, especially in that classic lineup, they were basically a supergroup, weren't they? Multiple world-class songwriters doing brilliant melodic rock.
Sure.
So if you gather the absolute best from that kind of talent pool, the overall quality is just incredibly high. Very hard to argue with hit after hit.
Yeah, you can't deny the songs. The Chain, Dreams, Rhiannon, Little Lies. I mean, the list goes on.
Oh, yeah.
But was there anything specific he picked out from this huge collection?
Yes. Interestingly, it wasn't just the studio classics. He highlighted the inclusion of some live tracks from 1997.
Oh.
Specifically, Lindsey Buckingham performing Big Love, just him and his guitar. The author called the guitar work phenomenal.
Right. Buckingham's acoustic stuff can be amazing.
Exactly. So that moment of raw technical brilliance on a live track combined with, 35 other stone cold classics.
Right.
It seems that just locked in the top spot for Fleetwood Mac.
Okay. So consistency and moments of brilliance win round 1. What about the second place qualifier? You said Iron Maiden, the live album?
Live at Donington 1992. And if Fleetwood Mac was about polished consistency, this one seems to be about raw, unfiltered energy.
Recorded headlining monsters of rock. That's peak Maiden power right there.
Absolutely. The performance is described as, supreme. But what really seemed to stick with the blogger wasn't just the music itself. It was a specific moment, an interaction.
Go on.
You know the bit where Bruce Dickinson is talking to the crowd?
Vaguely.
Well, he apparently realizes they're broadcasting live on the radio, but without the usual 15-minute delay they put in for censorship reasons.
Okay. Risky.
Exactly. And what does he do? He tells the entire massive crowd to go absolutely mental for 30 seconds.
Yes, a classic Bruce.
Right. And that moment, that kind of spontaneous, uncensored, real burst of energy captured on the recording, that seems to be something the Quest really values, that authenticity.
Yeah, I can see that. It's not polished. It's just real, visceral.
Precisely. And the music backs it up, too. Strong set list, classics mixed with stuff from Fear of the Dark, which was their current album. He mentioned great versions of Afraid to Shoot Strangers and Hallowed Be Thy Name.
Killer tracks. So Maiden's sheer live power basically pushed him through.
Seems like it. Just too strong, too energetic for the other two.
Okay, so that brings us to the albums that didn't make it. Let's talk about Shakespeare's sister, Hormonally Yours. You said this one got a bit controversial.
Yeah, this is where the critique gets interesting. The review apparently focused quite a bit on accusations of borrowing, even lyrical plagiarism.
Whoa, okay. Plagiarism. Is he judging the music, or it's like originality credentials? Does that knock it out?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? How much should that weigh? He pointed out that the opening track, Goodbye Cruel World, shares its title with a song from Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Roger Waters again, who's also in this group.
Exactly. The irony wasn't lost on him. And another track, Moonchild, shares its title with an Iron Maiden song from Seventh Son of a Seventh Son.
Also in the group. Well, represented by the live album. That's quite a coincidence.
It is pretty funny. He even made a joke about Robbie Williams' Let Me Entertain You potentially being borrowed, even though Robbie would have been like 10 when Hormonally Yours came out.
Okay, so some digs about borrowing titles.
Yeah.
But what about the actual music? Did that factor in?
Oh, definitely. Title stuff aside, the main point was musical. He just found their versions, well, duller was the word used. And there was a specific, quite harsh critique of the second vocalist, Marcella Detroit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, she was described as a wailing banshee, reaching pitches only audible to canines.
Ouch. That's blunt. So a real focus on vocal execution there. No room for error, apparently.
Seems like it. Technical flaws, or perceived flaws anyway, seem to be heavily penalized in this quest.
Though, to be fair, did he find anything good on the album?
Yeah, he did acknowledge some high points. The big hit Single Stay, which Dave Stewart co-wrote, got praise for its sort of pop theatrics.
Right, that was a massive song.
And he also liked the final track, Hello, Turn Your Radio On, calling it melodic.
Okay, so not a total write-off.
Not total, but despite those moments, the overall feeling was that the album was mainly plotting, and that sealed its fate in fourth place.
Right. Plotting doesn't survive repeated listens, I guess. Okay, that leaves Roger Waters, the Pink Floyd legend. Radio K.A.O.S. from 1987. How did this one fare? You mentioned some bizarre criteria.
Yeah, this is where it gets really, really subjective and kind of weird. The starting point for the critique was comparing the album's sound design to a radio station in Grand Theft Auto.
Sorry, well, GTA, the video game.
Yep. He said the sound design, the way the tracks linked with radio snippets and jingles, was so much like driving around in GTA that listening to it in a real car felt disorienting.
Disorienting.
He even told this clearly exaggerated story about listening to the track Sunset Strip and almost, driving like he was in the game.
Okay. Hang on. Is he seriously marking an album down because its realistic sound design made him feel like driving badly? That seems odd.
It tells you more about his gaming habits, maybe. But yeah, it shows how personal sensory experience, even if it's framed as hyperbole, plays a role here.
Okay, beyond the weird GTA comparison, what about the actual music and production?
Right. When he got down to it, the main criticism was about the production feeling like it was trying too hard to be commercial.
Ah, okay. For a progressive rock concept album, that can be a red flag for fans.
Exactly. It's described as having this very smooth, multi-layered production, but that the attempt to make tracks like Radio Waves into sort of AOR pop hits, it maybe diluted the complexity?
Simplified things too much.
That seems to be the feeling. And a specific musical flaw, he noted, was too much reliance on synthetic harmonies, like keyboard pads and backing vocals.
Creating what? Kind of samey texture.
Yeah. He described it as creating this constant choir-like atmosphere that needed more bite, more guitar interludes or rough edges to break it up, less synth wash, more rock grit.
Gotcha. Prog rock needs its dynamics. But surely there were some good moments. It's Roger Waters, after all.
Oh, absolutely. He definitely praised the closing track, The Tide is Turning, called it really heartfelt, from the heart, and liked its message against, superpower obsession and information control.
A classic Waters theme.
Totally. And another highlight mentioned was when Paul Carrack guests on the track Powers That Be.
Ah, Paul Carrack, great voice.
Yeah, and apparently on that track, the album finally goes a bit silent running, getting that sort of darker, more cinematic narrative feel that the blogger seems to appreciate.
Okay, so moments of brilliance, but maybe structurally flawed or too commercially polished overall.
That seems to be the verdict. Those strong moments just weren't enough to overcome the perceived weaknesses, especially compared to the consistency of Fleetwood Mac or the sheer power of Maiden live.
Right. So we've broken down all four. It's a fascinating mix of reasons for the final ranking, isn't it? Not just about famous names.
Not at all. It's consistency, it's live energy, it's a really critical ear for vocals, apparently, and this aversion to prog rock that sounds like it's chasing radio play.
So the conclusion really favored that undeniable quality from Fleetwood Mac and the raw, authentic performance from Maiden.
Yeah, Maiden's live show was just too good to be beaten by what he called Waters' rather lackluster album and Shakespeare's sisters' mainly plodding effort.
Okay, let's lock in those final results for Group 163 then. Who officially qualified?
All right. Taking the #1 spot, bringing that decades-long consistency. It's very best of by Fleetwood Mac.
Advancing. And in second,
Advancing in second place, purely on that live power and energy, live at Donington 1992 by Iron Maiden.
got it. And the eliminated albums.
Eliminated in third place is Radio K.A.O.S. by Roger Waters.
And bring up the rear.
And finishing last, also eliminated, is Hormonally Yours by Shakespeare's sister.
Okay, group decided. So after digging into this very specific, very subjective album quest group, what's the takeaway for you listening?
Well, I think it's a great example of how deeply personal musical taste is. It's a shortcut to understanding why someone might champion one album over another based on tiny details.
Yeah, like a single guitar solo, or that unscripted swear word live on stage, or even just the texture of the synths used. These things matter to people.
They really do. It shows how much the structure and presentation of music can influence how we receive it. Which leaves us with a final thought for you to chew on.
Go for it.
Based on how this group played out, especially with that Fleetwood Mac compilation winning, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? When we're searching for the quote-unquote best music, is that kind of massive, consistently excellent greatest hits package ultimately more powerful, more satisfying in the long run than a single, perhaps flawed, perhaps commercially compromised, but still deeply personal and ambitious statement album like Radio K.A.O.S?
Yeah, that's a really good question. What is the best album? Is it the perfect statement or the perfect collection? Something to think about when you're ranking your own favorites.
Definitely food for thought.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this album quest. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.